KCRA 3 News continues.
I'm going to take you straight to New York City. A helicopter has crashed into the East River heliport at 34th Street. 4 to 5 people are on the river. Coast Guard is on the scene trying to rescue people. As you can see, this is an extremely active situation. I'm told by our meteorologist David Bigger, who's familiar with the area, that this is a heliport where a lot of businessmen will fly into and arrive in order to conduct business in the downtown New York area. They could be commuters from out of town or whatnot. Let's listen in right now and to live coverage from New York.
Crash happened. So there is no sign of the aircraft. Captain Randy Empey keeping an eye out the right side. I'm keeping an eye with the camera and the left side, and there is nothing to see. We're just going to bring this shot out a little bit so that we'll just give you a quick look.
Again, this is New York City, the 34th Street helipad. 4 to 5 people are in the river, and Coast Guard officials are obviously in this general area trying to find the helicopter, trying to get people out. And we just saw another shot moments ago of numerous people in watercraft who may have been recreating on the river, are going towards the scene to possibly assist, to also check the area to see if there's anybody holding on to something.
Well, what happens with the floats is that the floats are designed to keep the aircraft from sinking in the event that it goes down in the water. Now, two things can happen when you have floats. You can land upright with the floats deployed, and it essentially will keep your aircraft acting like a boat. You will float above the water, and then you just have to be very careful in getting out of the aircraft that the weight is evenly distributed so that it doesn't tip the aircraft over. The other thing that can happen is if you don't land evenly in the water is that those floats will keep the aircraft afloat but underwater. It could still capsize underwater, but the skids would stay above water. Now, we have talked a little bit about this in the past. What we know at this point, we're just getting some updates, so I want to let you know when we get them. 4 people have now been rescued. There is 1 still in the water. So now what we can tell you from our experiences, one of the things that Channel 7 strongly urged us to do as members of a flight team that flies over the water all the time is that we went through something called water egress training. And having gone through it, what they actually did with us, they took a simulated helicopter and dunked it in the water in various different positions as if it were simulating a crash that you didn't know which end was up. And having gone through that, I can tell you that when an aircraft goes underwater, it is extremely disorienting for the passengers on board. I went through training. They dunked us several times in this one training session, and until the very last one, it was still extremely disorienting. We learned what to do to get out of the aircraft safely, but one of the things we found out, and we found it out very quickly, was that if you take your seatbelt off once that aircraft goes underwater, before you know where you are in the water, you can quickly become disoriented in that aircraft and not be able to get out. So it seems at this point, 5 people...
Again, coverage from New York City, the 34th Street area, the East River heliport. If any of you are familiar with that location, 5 people in the water, 4 rescued, 1 remains missing. As you see the triage unit being set up, Coast Guard is on scene as they continue to treat those who went down. This is an area, as we heard, you can see someone to the left being administered, obviously some CPR there, so obviously a critical situation as we're looking from above at one of those people being worked on. We're going to continue to follow this for you. Again, 4 rescued, but obviously some people, at least 1 there, in very, very serious condition. Back with more coverage here on KCRA 3 right after this.